Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. My sisters are here. My sisters are here. Reedy, look. Reedy is here.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Oh, yes. Merethah is here.
Hello, Merethah. Hello, Shirley.
Hello, my
Hello.
sister, please.
Okay. So this is Point of View with this Cleester, Merethah, Eula, and Shirley. I'm going all the way around backwards today because we're all in this together. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us today on this Thursday, January the 19th. Is it the 8th? Yeah, 19th in the year 2023. And my topic is when is enough enough? And Rita, yours is how to choose
How to
happiness.
choose
And Maritha, what is
happiness.
yours?
Mine is how to stop talking and listen more.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, dear God, as we sit before you to speak, we pray to you that our souls you will keep. And if we should die before we finish, we pray to you, dear God, in the name of Jesus, that any outstanding sins will be forgiven. Amen. So, we're
Amen.
here. We have these great topics. And what we do here is we try to relay very helpful, useful information that will help us to live better lives. And some things we might already know, and many things we don't know. That's why we research and study so that we can bring the information to you. And
Mhm.
then that will motivate you to start looking up things too, if you have time. But if you don't have time, we will get it for you. Okay.
Yes, we will.
So you can always send suggestions to us. You see our emails down here on the screen. And so I'm just delighted because God has blessed us to live to see another day.
Amen.
And at this time, I'm going to give you into the hands of Merethah for her to.
Yay.
All right. So mine is from minimalistmadesimple.com, and it's how to stop talking and listen more. All right. Communicating isn't always necessarily about talking, but also about the ability to
Turn this
listen.
TV down.
Ha, all right. Everyone tends to listen to respond, but nobody ever listens to actually hear what the other person is saying. It's easy to talk more without hearing what they're saying, especially as listening requires you to be more selfless. When you
Mhm.
have the ability to listen more, this strengthens both friendships and relationships in the process. When you
Mhm.
stop talking, you give more room to the other person to be heard. In this article, we will be talking about how to stop talking and listen more. Why talking less is important. When you talk less, you give the other person more opportunity to be heard. There's a bigger chance to appear selfless and narcissistic when all you do is talk about yourself, refusing to give others the spotlight. All right. This act may encourage others to become distant from you and push you away, as nobody wants someone that makes them feel misunderstood or invisible. Communicating is a mutual exchange of conversation, and one shouldn't be talking more than the other. Most importantly, you shouldn't talk to respond, but to actually process the point they're trying to get across. In reality, you gain much better friendships and relationships when you validate the other person's more in the conversation. When you're talking, the majority of the time, people want to be drawn into as much as you. Talking more builds fewer friendships and connections than you think.
Mhm.
7 ways to stop talking and listen more. Number one, don't interrupt. When someone is talking, you shouldn't interrupt what they're saying, even if you think what you'll say next is relevant or important. Doing this invalidates everything the other person is saying, and they'll probably lose interest in you in talking to you. Encourage them to say whatever is on their mind and don't cut them off at all costs. So this also means staying encouraged throughout the entire conversation. The same way you want someone to act with you. Number two, ask questions to make them feel loved and heard. Ask discerning questions in their way. Are they telling you a complete story? Are they missing a few details? Asking questions makes the other person feel genuinely like you want to know what they have to say. Doing this directs the focus outward instead of inward. Make sure you ask questions uh, such as you can, assuming that they are relevant to the conversation. When you're talking to someone, so are you really what? Let this person know that you're hearing them. Number three, focus on them as much as possible. Avoid using your phone when talking to someone. When you shift your focus on the person you're talking to instead of elsewhere, you're a better listener. It's
Mm-hmm.
easy to feel disinterested when you don't feel like they want to engage in conversation with you. So you need to ensure that they don't feel this way. Phones and gadgets aren't just an issue of focus, but also avoid wandering your mind to somewhere else as the other person will notice this. When you're talking, because it's so easy to get distracted these days when someone's talking, because we have so much going on around us. Pick up your phone when somebody's talking to you. Oh, just a minute. No, that can wait. It's not that important. All that can wait till you get through talking to this person. Forget the mechanics. Number four, being a better listener isn't all about the rules of nodding your head or smiling, but it's genuinely being in the moment. Make them feel like you understand everything they are saying, not just to appear as if you're listening, but aren't. Your sincerity should come off naturally rather than forced. Otherwise, they won't want to engage in a conversation where they feel unheard.
Right.
Communication isn't about the do's and don'ts, but about the
Mm-hmm.
natural exchange of conversation. Number five, stop people pleasing. If you think people pleasing is the key to being a better listener, you're wrong. Doing this just makes you seem fake and disinterested. It's better to be authentic rather than pretending to agree with everything they're saying.
Right.
You'll be a much better listener if you stay true to who you are rather than attempting to gain their approval. You don't have to please people to be a good listener. You just have to make them feel heard. And number six, don't give unsolicited advice. A lot of people are guilty of doing this. But when a friend goes to you when they're feeling down or in trouble, it doesn't always mean they want your advice. Sometimes they just want someone to listen to them and
Mm-hmm.
vent and be there for them.
Mm-hmm.
Giving advice, especially when there isn't what they need, will push away from you. And you might think that make them regret opening up to you in the first
Mm-hmm.
place.
Mm-hmm.
Some vent instead of advice. The reason that we mostly know what we should do, but aren't ready to do so. Some people just want to come in such and such and such and such. They don't want you to tell them what to do. They just want to tell you what happened. They just want to just get it off their chest. You don't have to give advice. All
Right.
right. Sometimes we can't give advice because we're not in that situation. Well, this is what I
Exactly.
would do. No,
Amen.
no, because you don't know what you would do until you are in that situation. I can't give marriage advice because I've never been married. Okay. I can only listen and hopefully sympathize, but I cannot give advice to a married person. I can be there for you and help you through it, but I
Right.
cannot give you advice. All right.
Right.
Number 7, keep an open mind. The primary rules as a listener is always keep an open mind, even with things you don't necessarily agree with. It
Mm-hmm.
isn't that you're speaking, excuse me, it isn't you that's speaking, but it's them. So you need to put them in the spotlight. Be open enough to the idea that your knowledge isn't fixed and you can always learn a thing or two in a conversation. Instead of pushing your ideas and thoughts down someone else's throat, let them
Mm-hmm.
speak and see both sides of the story. If you don't
Right.
agree, try to see things from their perspective instead. So, the benefits of talking less and listening more: you develop a stronger friendship and relationships. You become empathetic with others. You are sought out by others for comfort. People look forward to a conversation with you. You don't offend or invalidate people's feelings. You get to know others better. You socialize better. You learn more about life in general, and you become a great communicator and speaker. And then the final thoughts. I hope this article is able to shed insight into everything you need to know about being a great listener. When you stop
Mm-hmm.
talking, you can't be more empathetic to what others have to say if you don't talk less. Being a great
Mm-hmm.
communicator comes from letting the other person be heard and avoid listening to just respond on your end. Communication isn't just about responding, but it's more about getting a certain point across. If you talk more than you listen, then the very point of communication is pointless. So that was that. So
All right.
talk
That's
less,
wonderful.
listen more.
All right.
I
Wonderful.
can't give you advice if I'm not in that situation. I can empathize. I can, try to help you through your situation. But if I haven't been in it, I can't, I can't, I can't help
Mm-hmm.
you through it. I mean, I can be
That's
there
true.
for you. And I
Yep.
can listen to you. And
Uh-huh.
I can do that, but I can't, give you advice on something that I haven't been through. That's
Okay.
that.
All right. Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank
So
you.
that is
Beautiful.
your
Beautiful.
topic again.
My topic was talk. Wait a minute, hold on. I'm sorry. I got to the bottom of my page and lost my thing. How to stop talking and listen more.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Marisa.
Thank you.
How to talk less and listen more.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now look, look at my other favorite sister. Oh my goodness. Cleester. I'm gonna turn it over to you at this time. We're just
Yeah.
so happy
Oh
to
Lord,
have you.
I haven't heard those words in so long. Woo, gotcha. Haven't heard it in so long. Hey, y'all don't know how good it feels. I tell y'all, I really miss doing this. I really
We
do.
really
We
miss you
miss
I
you.
miss
too.
doing it. But
And you are
there's
missed.
things there's things you gotta do. When you gotta do, you gotta do them.
That's
You know,
right.
life goes on.
That's right.
Okay, mine is how to choose happiness.
Okay.
And I have learned to choose happiness.
Oh yes.
We all go through things, and it try to bring you down. There's people try to bring you down, and you
Mm-hmm.
got to shake that stuff off.
Yes.
Because otherwise, you'll be miserable with them.
Yes.
And I choose to be happy.
Choose to be
I'm
happy.
too old to be miserable and mad all the time because somebody else is mad. Because if somebody else is mad at somebody, they want you to be mad too. I'm not going to do it. Okay, here we go, y'all. Let's go. We're going to choose happiness. Most people are about as happy as they make up their minds to be.
Mhm.
Quote by Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
Is happiness a choice? Yes. Many happy people realize happiness is a choice, and it's up to them to intentionally choose it every single day. Happy people are not held hostage by their circumstances, and they do. Good Lord, have mercy. Where'd it go? It just went away. It just went away. Yeah, it went away. Come on back. Okay, okay. Choose it in every single day. Happy people are not held hostage by their circumstances, and they do not seek happiness in a people or possessions. They understand that when we stop chasing the world's definition of happiness, we begin to see the decisions to experience happiness has been right in front of us all along.
Oh. Mhm.
But simply knowing that happiness is a choice is not enough. Fully experiencing it still requires a conscious decision to choose happiness each day.
Each day.
How then might each of us begin to experience this joy? How to choose happiness today. Embrace one new action item, practice all of them, or simply use them as an inspiration to discover your own. Here are 12 ways, but I ain't not going to do all 12 of them. This might be a continuation of to choose happiness today. One, count your blessings. Mama always said, count your blessings. Y'all remember that? Mom, you say, count your
Yep.
blessings. Happy people choose to focus on the positive aspects of life rather than negative. They set their minds on specific reasons to be grateful. They express it when possible, and they quickly discover there's always something to be grateful for. I'm grateful for my sisters, my wonderful sisters. I'm grateful that I came from a wonderful family. I swear
There
to
you
God, I
go.
come from a wonderful family. Lord have
Yes.
mercy. I think
Yes.
about my family and how wonderful my life
Wonderful.
has been with my family. Okay, and
Yep.
number two, I get get teary eyed. Don't, cause I'm away from
That's
y'all.
okay.
Y'all just
I
don't
do
know.
all
I'm
the
down here by
time.
myself, huh?
I do it all the time.
Shoot, I'm down here by myself, baby. It take me 10 hours to get to y'all. Two, carry a smile. A smile is a wonderful beautifier. But more than that, studies indicate that making an emotion filled face carries influence over the feeling processed by the brain. Our facial expressions can influence our brain in just the same way our brains influence our face. In other words, you can actually program yourself to experience happiness by choosing to smile. Not to mention all the pretty smiles you receive in return for flashing yours is always guaranteed to increase your happiness level. Somebody missing. What happened? Oh,
Shirley, she
Shirley.
dropped out. She,
Okay,
yeah,
she
she
went
is.
away. She went away. Oh, Jesus. Three. Three. Speak daily affirmation into your life. Affirmations are positive thoughts accompanied by affirmative beliefs and personal statements of truth. They are recited in the first person, present tense, I am. Affirmations used daily can release stress, build confidence, and improve outlook. For maximum effectiveness, affirmations should be chosen carefully, be based in truth, and address current needs. Four, wake up on your own terms. Most of us have an alarm clock programmed because of the expectations of others, a workplace, a school, or a waking child. That's probably not going to change, but that doesn't mean that you have to lose control over our mornings in the process. Wake up just a little bit earlier and establish an empowering, meaningful morning routine. Start each day on your terms. The next 23 hours will thank you for it. 5. Hold back a complaint. The next time you want to lash out a verbal complaint toward a person, a situation, or yourself, don't. Instead, humbly keep it to yourself. You'll likely diffuse an unhealthy, unhappy environment. But more than that, you'll experience joy by choosing peace in a difficult situation. 6. Practice one life improving discipline. Discipline. There is happiness and fulfillment to be found in personal growth. To know that you have intentionally devoted time and energy to personal improvement is one of the most satisfying feelings you'll ever experience. Embrace and practice at least self one act of self-discipline each day. This could be exercise budgeting or guided learning, whatever your life needs today to grow, continue growing, find it, practice it, and celebrate it. 7 is use your strengths. Each of us have natural talents, strengths, and abilities. And when we use them effectively, we feel alive and comfortable in our own skin. I know I do. I
Yep.
know I do. Because I wake up each morning 5 o'clock. I take a bath and I pray and I be blessing my day. Lord, please bless my day to go the way I want to go. And most of the time, I am happy all day. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Because most of the time, I promise you, I am happy all day. And the people that work, Miss Lee, you're always happy. Yes. Because I
Yeah.
pray to be happy. I pray to be happy. Don't you bring that stuff to me. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. They help us find joy in our being and happiness in our design. So embrace your strengths and choose to operate within your giftedness each day. If you need to find this outlet outside your employment, by all means, find an outlet. Told you. 8, accomplish one important task because happy people choose happiness. They
Hmm.
take control over their lives. They don't make decisions based on a need to pursue joy. Instead, they operate out of satisfaction and they have already chosen. They realize there are demands of their time, helpful pursuits to accomplish, and important contributions to make into the world around them. Choose one important task
Excuse me.
that you can accomplish each day and find the joy in your contribution. Eat a healthy meal or snack. Excuse me, that was contagious because you see, I just did it. A healthy meal or snack. We are spiritual, emotional, and mental beings. We are also physical bodies. Our lives cannot be wholly separated into its parts. As a result, one aspect always influences the other. For example, our physical bodies will always have impact over our spiritual and emotional well-being. Therefore, caring for our physical well-being can have significant benefits for our emotional standing. One simple action to choose happiness today is to eat healthy food. Your physical body will thank you, and so will your emotional well-being. Now I'm gonna go to 10, and I'm gonna turn to Shirley. Shirley. 10. Treat others well. Now that's an important one. Treat others well, and then they'll be saying, "Well, why are you all so happy?" You better be glad. Treat others well. Everyone wants to be treated kindly. But more than that, deep down, we also want to treat others with the same respect that we would have like them to give to us. Treat everyone you meet with kindness, patience, and grace. The golden rule is a powerful standard. It benefits the receiver, but it also brings growing satisfaction in yourself as to seek to treat others as you would like them to treat you.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I might well go on. It's two or
Might
more.
as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
11 is meditate. Find time alone in solitude. As our world increases in speed and noise, the ability to withdraw becomes even more essential. Studies confirm the importance of life-giving benefits of meditation. So take time or make time and use meditation to search inward. connect
Mm-hmm.
spiritually, and improve your happiness today. 12 is search for benefit in your pain. This life can be difficult. Nobody can escape without pain. At some point, in some way, we will all encounter it. When we do, remind yourself again that the trials may be difficult, but they will pass. And search deep to find the meaning in the pain. Choose
Mm-hmm.
to look for the benefits that can be found in your trial. At
Mm-hmm.
the very least, perseverance is being built, and
Mm-hmm.
most likely an ability to comfort others in their pains is also being developed.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go, y'all. That's
All
how you
right.
choose
All
happiness.
right.
Choose happiness because I have
Choose,
chosen happiness and
Yeah.
I am okay.
Thank
choose
you.
happiness.
I am
Yes.
okay. I
Thank you.
choose happiness. And if we all choose happiness, y'all know what? The world be a better place. Because
Yes, it'd be a
Yes.
better place.
some people just love to be miserable.
Yeah, and they want you to be miserable with them.
And they want you to be miserable with them.
And I'm not doing it. I'm
And they
not doing
say
it.
misery love company, but it will not get mine.
I'm
I will
not
not.
companying with you.
I'm not.
I'm
Me
not
and misery don't get.
companying with you.
Nope. Me and misery don't get along. So
Uh-uh.
misery.
What you say? People throw pity parties. Well, don't invite me to that party
I
because
done
I'm
saw
not
the folk.
pitying
I
you.
tell them all the time. Don't be invite me to your pity party because I
I'm
am
not
not coming.
coming. Mm.
I am not
I'm
coming.
not. I'm
Okay,
not sending
now.
no presents either.
Exactly. I turn you into the hands of our oldest, dearest sister, Shirley.
Yay!
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Standing ovation. Golf clap.
Those were great, great, great topics. Talk less, listen more, and be happy.
Be
My
happy.
Lord.
Be
Don't
happy.
worry, be
Don't,
happy.
girl,
Don't
you don't get
worry.
out of my mouth. I was just finna say that.
Okay. Now, all right. Wonderful. Thank you, sisters. When is enough enough?
Ooh,
The personalized nature of getting what we want. And I think we might have talked about this. We talk about so
So
many
much.
things of
yes,
whenever we
indeed.
come back around, it's needed. So
Yes,
this is
indeed.
by Timothy A. Carey, PhD. And this is Psychology Today. When is enough enough? Everyone has different wants and needs. People are compelled to get what their wants and needs tell them they must have.
Mhm.
Helping others to get what they want and need will help us to get what we want and need as well. Helping others, we help ourselves. So he goes on. He says, "I love the fact that learning can occur at any time and any place." Just the other day, he tells us, he said, "My wife and son and I were enjoying another episode of Bones. It was episode 12 in the season 9, around the 20-minute mark. Jack Hodgins said, as long as a person has enough, they don't need more." And that is so true.
That
As
is so true.
long as a person has enough, they don't need more. And he said, I thought that was a really wonderful sentiment and something I mulled over for quite a while. So there's a lot packed into those 11 words. Wouldn't it be great if we could all agree to work on building a world where everyone has enough? Instead, we currently have the situation where most of the world's population lives in poverty, while a small number of people have more money than that could possibly be spent in
Yep.
several lifetimes.
Yep.
It is also the case that globally we produce enough food each year so that no one needs to be hungry. Yet in some parts of the world, large quantities of food are wasted, while in other parts of the world, large numbers of people are chronically hungry. And it was something I was listening to. No, I was thinking on this. You know, they had that what is it, $1.6 billion, whatever the jackpot was. Somebody won it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
in New York, I believe. And so, but they say you have to play if you want to win,
You
to
have to need it.
have
Hey.
a chance to win. So of course I didn't play. I thought about it because, but I was just lying there thinking, even before I found out that somebody had won it. I said, that much money. It seems like you'd be regurgitating money. It would make you sick to have so much money. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of
Yes.
money. Yeah.
But then some people have the money and they still want more. They
Yes.
still want
Yeah.
more. And that's why we
Yeah.
have so much poverty in the world. And also because many sit on the money. Now, there are many
Mm-hmm.
that give, but there are many that sit on it. And some people want a lower level, what they call a lower level of people to look up to them. So I'm not going to
Yeah.
stay on that. So is Hodgins correct? If people have enough, do they not need more? As in what intriguing, as intriguing as that question is, it wasn't really the thing I spent time wondering about. For me, the bigger issue is who decides when enough is enough. Now, that is the biggest issue. Who
Amen.
Yeah.
decides when enough is
That
enough?
is enough.
And just like I was thinking, I said, that is so much money. It seemed like it would make me kind of sick.
It
You know,
reminded me of that movie Brewster's Millions.
oh, yeah, well, he had to do so much to get the
How
money.
he had spent so many $1 million in was it a week or 10 days or something
Oh,
like that.
okay,
He
yeah.
wanted him to spend so much money that he would be sick of spending money.
Ooh, that's something. That's something.
Yes.
Now, I'm not saying that if I had played that I would have and won, that I would have told him I don't want it. I would have taken it, and then I just had to be so many people because I think, and like I said, you have to play to win, and so hey, I didn't play, so I didn't win. But then I sit and I think, even not just sitting, even when I'm lying down relaxing, I think about all of the people that I would help
Yep.
and what I would
Yep.
do for them. And of course,
Yep.
you know, family gets their portion, each one gets their portion. Then,
Uh-huh.
of course, here, what I would do, that church would be up, my house would be totally remodeled. All those are the two priorities of mine. And then, but all my family would have theirs. I would make
Yes.
sure. And then there are other people, acquaintances that I would also give to.
Yes.
That's a lot of money.
That's
And
a
you can
lot
help
Yeah.
of money.
so many people. But I didn't play and I didn't win. Okay. So it will always be the case that what is enough to one
It's a lost
person
thought though.
could be an excess to another person and a shortage to someone else. And that's true.
That's
So
true. Yeah.
life is like a Goldilocks game in which we each have our own preferences for how warm or cool our porridge should be.
Mm-hmm.
Goldilocks knew what was just right for her, and
Uh-huh.
in that aspect or respect, excuse me, we have much in common with Goldilocks. We all have just right states to everything in our life that is important to us. And see, if people would think about it, this is my opinion, this is what's good for me, but what's
Hmm.
good for me might not be good for you.
That's
Right.
right.
Uh-huh. What's enough for me might not be enough for you, or it could
Yeah.
be
Mm-hmm.
too much.
Too much.
Yeah.
That's right.
Uh-huh. So ironically, it seems easiest to learn about our personal just right states when things are not right. So
Right.
Michael might take a sip of the Americano he just ordered and instantly screw his face up and exclaim, who put the sugar in that? Or Nella might take her first bite of the medium rare strip loin she's been thinking about all day and then quickly reach for the salt shaker. And we all do things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so life goes too hard, too soft, just right, too rich, too poor,
Yeah.
just right, Too fast, too slow, just right.
That's
Yeah.
Too
right.
black, too white, just right.
Just right.
Too fat, too skinny, just right.
Just right.
Too active, too lazy, just
Just
right.
right.
Too busy, too bored, just right. And so on and so on. And life is like that. Life is
Yes.
like that.
Yes.
Life is the business of creating and maintaining the world we know in the just right states we
Yeah.
want it to be in.
Yeah.
So
Is it?
enough is just right. But enough
Ah,
can't be stipulated or mandated from outside for the most part.
Close it.
There are many situations in
No,
which one
it's close
person
it.
specifies what is enough for another person. And that is so true. Somebody can come and tell me, well, I think that's enough for you. Or I go
Mhm.
to somebody, well, I think you've had enough, and that's enough.
Uh-huh.
People do that. There are
yep.
many
Yep.
situations in which
Yep.
one person
Yep.
specifies what is
Yep.
enough
Enough
for
for
another person.
somebody
Yes.
else.
Yes. Enough for somebody else. Yep.
Mhm.
Woo!
One
Woo!
person might
Woo!
decide he has had enough of being married to his partner.
Huh.
A parent might decide how much is enough television for her child. A student might decide how much homework is enough for his class. A coach might decide how much training is enough for her athletes. A nurse might decide how much sleep is enough for his patients. So everybody's deciding what's enough. And then we know the nurses and everything, they've gone to school and everything, and they've learned, how much it takes for this, and depending on the illness and whatever,
Yep.
and what you need and
Mm-hmm.
all that. And they go by the orders of the doctors and all of that. We
Mhm.
understand that. But if any of us have ever been in the hospital,
Huh.
we know that just when we get in that good old sleep,
Yep.
here they come
Here they come. Here they come.
with the medicine. So some people have to go home in order to rest. And
Yeah.
we think
Yeah.
we
Hey.
go to the hospital so we can rest and get better. But then it seems like, hey, there's no rest because they're
It's
getting
not.
that medicine in you every,
Yep.
what, 2, 3, 4 hours.
I'll be
And it's
glad
for
when I
our
go
own
home
good.
so I can get some sleep.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Yep.
So yet, even if someone decides how much is enough to someone for someone else, that doesn't necessarily mean it will be enough for that person.
Yep.
Enough is always a personal experience.
Yes, ma'am.
Enough is just right. So the other part of Hodgkin's statement that caught his eye, he said his attention. He said, were the words, "They don't need more."
Huh.
Is this true? Is not needing more the same as not wanting more?
Huh.
Again, the person making the judgment is critical. Someone might want more years of marriage, or more television time, or less homework, or less training, or more sleep, or less overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Again, what people want and need is individually determined. And we've worked on jobs where there are some people would eat up all the overtime
Yep.
they
Yes.
can get.
Yes.
And there are
Yes.
some of us, okay, we've worked this much overtime. Okay, I don't want it anymore. Sometimes it's mandatory overtime too.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Say that's enough.
That's enough.
Hey.
Huh.
That's enough. So we all have wants and needs, and we all have just rights. Organizing environments so that people get enough of what they need and have enough of what they want is a way to a more peaceful, productive, contented, constructive, and creative social group.
Mm-hmm.
Helping others get enough of what they want and need requires listening. Here we go.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
learning far more than deciding and demanding. May I say that again?
Yes.
Please.
Helping others get enough of what they want and need requires listening and learning far more than deciding and demanding. So if you don't
Come on.
listen, how can you learn?
That's right.
Hello.
Uh-huh. So funnily enough, he says, I am not attempting to get the ball rolling on a campaign of unadulterated altruism. It's actually quite the opposite. Genuinely helping others to get enough will also help you to get your enough.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you like having your world the way you want it, the most hassle free way of making and keeping that is by doing what you can to help others get their worlds the way they want them.
Amen.
Isn't that the neatest thing of all? By helping
Amen.
others, we help ourselves.
Yep.
If you want
Mm-hmm.
to give yourself a break, a great place to start is to help someone else get enough of what they want and need. So that's the psychology today one. Now there's another one if you'll indulge.
We'll indulge you.
Okay. Indulge me.
We'll indulge you.
Okay. Know when to give up and let go. So, when is enough enough? How to know when to give up and let go. And this is simply together. And this is by Carolina Bartnick. And it could be Carolina. It's Karolina. Bartnick. And this was she did this in June. Well, it was put out on the 21st of June in 2022, talking about breakups and relationships. Has anybody been through any of that? Okay. Have you been pouring your heart and soul into making something work, only to have the most of your efforts fall flat, leaving you frustrated and wondering when is enough enough? Regardless whether it's a job, relationship, marriage, friendship, a relative, or something entirely different that is draining you this way, it's important to recognize the right time to give up and let go. Sometimes we have to just let it go.
Let it
Yep.
go.
Let
What's
it
that
go.
song Alyssa used to sing?
Let it go.
Let it go. Let it
Let
go.
it go.
Don't hold on anymore.
From that song from Frozen. Was that
Frozen,
that
yeah.
movie?
Frozen. Uh-huh.
I have never watched that movie. So there is no point investing more into something that is never going to work out. But at the same time, you have to be certain you gave it your best and did everything you
You
possibly
could.
could.
Yep.
This way, you can avoid having regrets about this further down the road. I've been in this situation, this author, Carolina, please forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name. I've been in this situation countless times myself, so I know how hard it is to be on the verge of saying enough is enough. Giving up on someone or something you put a lot of effort into is always heartbreaking. And like you were saying, listen more and talk less. And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you can listen to people. And then if they ask you something, you can tell them, and then they go the totally opposite.
Yes.
Next time something comes up, here they come.
Yep.
Yep.
And then so you know what I started doing? I just stopped. I just let them talk.
Yep.
Like Merethah said, I don't talk much anyway. Most of the time I
No.
listen.
Mm-hmm.
And but anyway, if they ask me something and then I've told them and then they come call me back, well, I did this and I did that. Okay, I've learned. So enough is enough. I don't tell
Mm-hmm.
them that, but I know,
Yep.
enough is enough.
Right.
So it might make you question if it was all for nothing or if you were deceived and what you thought was real turned out not to be true. These
Mm-hmm.
are all extremely difficult things to face, and they are, and we've all been through that. We've been
Yep.
hurt so, our feelings have been hurt so because we thought someone was sincere or
Yep.
something was for us, and then it ended up being just a big old ball of deception.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then we've been hurt so, but at the same
Yep.
time, sometimes you have to be willing to let go of the outcome in order to actually get what you want out of a situation or
Yep.
get your message across in a
Yep.
relationship.
Yep.
Sometimes it takes you walking away for other people to cave in and snap out of their stubborn frame of mind. Done
Yep.
that too.
Yep.
Have you sometimes have you thought that you okay, I've said I'm done, and you walk away and you're
Yep.
feeling good, and here they come back.
Here they come. Here they come again. Hey,
Yep.
Yes, here you
What's
come
say, look
again.
now, come on now, go.
here
And
they
then
come
there's
again.
and there's
Hey,
Yep.
that song. Let me see, what's that song? How did we get here? Never didn't want to be here. Oh, what is that song? Anyway, I
How did we get
get
here?
here. That song, yes, yes. Because you didn't want to be there,
Yeah.
doing all right.
hey.
And
Yep.
here you come,
Here you
spoiling
go.
everything,
Yep.
and then acting bad. I don't blame it on the monkey anymore because the monkey is very intelligent. I had to
Hey.
apologize to the monkey till I broke the habit of just saying people act like a monkey.
Yep.
I tell you,
But
don't,
monkeys
don't,
are
don't,
very
don't, don't.
intelligent. I
The
don't.
monkey
I
said,
tell
"Don't
them
put that
too.
on me."
One monkey don't stop
The
no
monkey said,
show.
"I
They just get a
know."
new monkey. That one might juggle.
Ah,
True.
so this is a bit of a paradox. I will come back to at the end. She's coming back at the end of the article, and so she said, let's cover how to recognize when enough is enough. And so, how many minutes do we have left?
13.
Okay, how do you know when enough is enough? Thank you. It is not easy to know the right time to let go of something or someone. It's hard to give up on things you've invested a lot into, and that's a fact. Also, these kinds of decisions sometimes carry irreversible consequences. Have you ever known, like maybe people have bought things and they just struggle and struggle trying to pay for them,
Paper,
just
Mhm.
right?
struggling trying to
Yes,
pay for them, and
yes.
finally they said, "I'm just gonna let it go.
Let it go.
It's not worth it." And sometimes people have struggled for years and years trying to keep something, and it just keeps making them get deeper and deeper in the hole.
Deep.
And
Yes,
finally,
yes,
they say,
yes.
"I've got to let it go." And then that peace of mind comes in, and then they can
Yep.
start all over again. So,
Yep.
also, these kinds of decisions sometimes carry irreversible consequences. Now, let me get on down here. For example, quitting a job might mean losing this work environment forever. Quitting a
Mm.
job. In the same way, giving up on a relationship might mean that it will be the end of it. This is why she said, I've prepared a list of signs to help you recognize when enough is enough. This way, you
And
can
too much
know.
stink.
All right.
Hey.
This way, you please excuse me, I know it's over the call. This way, you can know you're in a hopeless situation and it's time to let it go. Some people can have so much hopefulness in a hopeless situation.
Yep.
Yes.
So much hopefulness in a hopeless situation.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, enough is enough when you're the only one making things work.
Yep.
Been there.
Yep.
Any interpersonal relationship needs to be mutual in order to remain healthy, regardless whether this is about your job, family, friendship, or romantic relationship. If you're the only person who is putting in the effort into keeping things going, know that you're being taken for granted.
Mm-hmm.
The world is a tough place, and you are your own best protector. You have to stand up for yourself and not let other people endlessly use you.
Yep.
And this is
Yep.
particularly uh, true in relationships because some people just give. People give so much love to an unresponding person till they just drain
Thank
all their energy,
Yep.
Thank you.
drain
Yes.
all of
Yep.
their energy out.
Yes.
It just seeps out of them because you can love a person so much.
But, yep.
So
Yes,
this is
indeed.
particularly true in relationships. Being endlessly giving toward your partner never ends well. And what about that lady, Reedy? I think about that lady sometimes. Are you in you in my seat? She said, "Who? I'm his wife."
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So people
Yes.
give. That was enough I probably would have probably melted right
Uh-huh.
there on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
spot.
oh yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. You don't never know what you would do in that situation. Oh, good
Nope.
God. That woman was devastated.
Yes.
She was devastated, and
Yes.
and her life has not been the same.
Mm.
That person took everything away from that woman.
Clee,
Everything.
tell a little bit about that, please.
A woman was with this man for how many
About 30 years, wasn't
about
she?
30 years, yes.
Hmm.
With this man about 30 years. He went to every family function. He went to everything the family had. He went to all the gatherings, everything, graduations, but cookout, everything. He died. She goes to the funeral. She lets his children do the funeral. So she goes to the funeral to sit in the significant other's seat.
Uh-huh.
There, she goes up there, and the lady is sitting in this significant other seat. And she said, "Excuse me, I believe you're in my seat." And she said, "Who are you?" And she said, "I've been with him for 30 years." She said, "I'm his wife. I've been with him for 28 years."
Wait a minute.
Yes,
Wait a minute.
Yes.
yes, yes. She been with
Yes.
that man. She was with that man for 30 years. 28 years of it, he married somebody
Another
else.
woman.
Yes, in
And the
28
thing,
years.
and Clee, the most, one of the, probably the most devastating on top of that was that the children
No.
knew it.
The
Yes, they
children
knew.
knew.
The
And
children knew it.
they had a
The
relationship with her and the wife, and she never
Yes,
knew
and she never
that the
knew it.
man had a
And
wife.
yes, and and he married her during the time he was dating the other one.
Right.
He
And
was
so when
married,
his
God, 2 years after he started.
after, yes, ma'am. And then after that, said the girl said, "I've never seen my aunt look say the face, her facial expression. I've never seen it like that before." And say she just turned around and walked out. She did. They hadn't seen her for a while. Say she just dropped out of the family circle because she was so devastated.
I would have too. I mean,
That is
mm,
terrible. Yeah. So if you're the only glue that keeps things together, it's likely
wow.
time to say enough is
Is
enough.
it not?
It's
Yes,
not
yes.
healthy for you to stay in a
And
situation
and her
where
children
you
knew.
Not her children, his children.
it's not healthy for you to stay in a situation where you're being used all the
Yes,
time.
all the time. Amen,
He
sister.
took everything that lady had, and
Yes,
she thought
yes,
she had him all to
yes.
herself, and he
Uh
went
huh.
off and married another
Another
lady.
woman. Yes, ma'am.
So you deserve better. Number
Amen.
two, when you keep on blaming yourself for everything, that means it's
Wow.
time, it's enough is enough. Another
Enough is enough.
telltale sign that it might be the time to say enough is enough is when you keep on blaming yourself and
Yourself.
taking responsibility for
Yes.
everything that doesn't go right.
Yes.
For
Right.
example, if
Right.
you don't feel valued at work and haven't gotten a raise in a while, maybe you're thinking, oh, I'm just not trying hard enough. Plus, they really don't have the money to give
Uh,
me a raise at the moment.
Uh huh.
In the context of a romantic relationship or an unhealthy family situation, an example of this would be you constantly making excuses and blaming yourself for your loved one's outbursts. And
Yeah.
sometimes we don't, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
We people cover up, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
then some people take on more responsibility than they should, and that's what
That's
she
right.
said. Enough. He's saying enough. It's a she on this one. Enough is enough. So, oh, they didn't mean it that way. They're just having a hard time right now. Maybe I'm being needy and unrealistic. We've heard people say that stuff so many times about people whopping them upside their head and
Uh
pushing them
huh.
down
I
and choking them
understand
and
that.
all that, and all that kind of stuff.
Mm,
A certain amount of fighting is normal and healthy in a relationship. A certain amount, and not
yeah.
the hitting and the punching kind. That's not healthy at all.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have disagreements.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Right.
you might have a little argument. But
Right.
then, hey, at the end of the day, all that stuff has got to be cleared up. Don't let the sun go down on your wrath.
Yep.
Hey,
Get that stuff cleared
Get it
up
out the way.
before evening time and go
come on.
on and love each other. So, but if you're walking on eggshells and blaming yourself for everything that is going wrong, know that it is not good for you to tolerate this kind of treatment. Your needs matter. Your needs matter. Moreover, someone else's problems don't justify them lashing out at you or denying you things. If this is your situation, it might be a sign that enough is enough. It's time for you to let go and make a change. And I like this what Papa say, that's all I can stand. I
Yes.
And
can't
stand no
stand
more.
no more. Da 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 da. Oh yes.
Hey,
And then Elder Davis heard this song on one of the uh, spiritual Christian stations on television. This man had said this song. He said to the devil, "Enough is enough, and I'm tired of your stuff." And that's what we
hey,
have
Yep.
to say. Enough is enough.
Enough.
It's time to make a
I
change. Number
know.
3. How many minutes?
Uh,
three,
3.
Okay,
three.
when you never get what you want. Another way to tell when enough is if you feel like you can never have what you want. We a lot of times we probably feel like that. Enough is
Yes.
Yes.
enough when you tried everything already. One way to know enough is enough when you feel like you've tried your best to fix a problem or a relationship, but despite all of your efforts, things still aren't working out. Dwelling on this will only bring you more pain. When there is nothing more you can do, it's a sign that enough is enough. When you decide that enough is enough, number 5, last but not least, you don't have to wait for all the signs to fit your situation to know when to let go of something. Maybe this isn't your first time facing this type of difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
So even though things might not be that bad just yet, you know where they are headed. So,
Mhm.
or maybe things are really hard for you, but you still feel guilty. You might worry that giving up and saying enough is enough might mean that you didn't really care about this thing or person you're so frustrated with. So, we have all kinds of excuses. So, if deep down you feel this way, you can trust your instinct and respect your own limits. You can decide for yourself that enough is enough. Now, what point is enough enough? Sometimes it takes saying enough is enough and letting go for your partner to cave in and finally come your way. And then, let me get on down here. But coming to terms with things the way they are can often be a pivotal moment that can turn everything around and heal a relationship. Sometimes you have to say, "Hey, I'm gone." When is enough in a marriage? You sometimes you have to say, "Hey, I've tried. Lord, I've tried.
Get
Sometimes
some yonder.
burdened down in trouble. You got to get out of there."
Yep.
Gotta get some
Sometimes you have what
yonder.
you. That's what you say, Rita. I was just going to ask.
Gotta get some yonder.
Get
Yes,
some
ma'am. So
yonder.
this is Simply Together blog, simplytogether.com. So thank you so much, everybody. Sisters, I am so happy to be with you today. It's such a wonderful blessing. And thank you, everybody who joined us today. We love you so much. And reading, Merethah, would you have like to have some closing remarks?
No, I just loved it.
I'm good. I am good, Lord.
I
I'm
just
glad
loved
to
it.
be back amongst my peoples.
Yes.
Oh, all right. I'm glad you're back amongst us too. Now, what am I
Yes.
on? Let me see. I'm on this thing. So, why can I get back to
But
where? Oh, now here. There I go. All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much. We love you. We love you. We love you. We appreciate you. And
yes.
I, we'll see you, God
As
willing,
always, till we meet again.
till we
Here we
meet
be.
again. Yes, yes, yes. Love you, sisters.
Love you
Love
Eh,
you.
too.
Love you too.
Oh, stay
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
after we go off, but turn your cameras off right now.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Just turn your camera off.
Bye, everybody. Love you.
Bye.
Okay. Love you. All right. Oh, God, I'm calling on you. Oh, God, I'm enlisting the saints to pray feel